Yes.
Okay, we're going to call to order the 201st session of the 10th Council. A roll call.
Carter. Miller. Petula.
Yes.
Stramsky.
Present.
Taylor Burks.
Present.
Waterman.
Patrice Waterman, City of Pontiac.
Williams.
Present.
Mr. President, you have one.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Attorney Chubb to tell why we're going into closed session.
This wasn't a closed session. This was just a special meeting. This wasn't set up for a closed session.
Attorney Chubb?
I think that's accurate. Matt, was it your intention to go into closed session today? I think we're just going to talk about the options and see if there's a consensus. I think Matt can speak to that.
Yeah, my understanding, it was just a continuation of the meeting from Tuesday that came out of closed session. It's just a continuation of that. So an open meeting is fine.
Okay.
You weren't going to make a motion to excuse the council members who aren't present, Mr. President?
Okay, I need a motion to excuse Councilwoman Miller and Pro Tem Carter.
Move. Support.
That's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Petula.
Yes.
Stramsky.
Yes.
Taylor Burks.
Yes.
Waterman.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Five yeas, no nays.
Council President, a question. I don't see that the mayor is on. Does she have to be on for this to be an official meeting? I'm not familiar with the rule on that.
It's the mayor or the representative. So since
Okay.
Attorney Chubb is on as the city attorney, he can be there. Yes, so it counts as far as I know. Is that correct, Mr. Clerk?
Well, technically, no, because in order for outside of the deputy mayor, I need a letter from the mayor saying that who our designee is. I have not received a letter from the mayor designating anyone else. But technically, the charter, but the city attorney can speak. Okay.
She's here now. So a couple different things. Mr. Gibb just sent a letter this morning, and I would like the contents of that letter to be put into the actual agreement with Dearborn Capital before we proceed. And then the second thing is I thought bond counsel was supposed to be at this meeting to talk about a backup and other things, and I don't see anybody from bond counsel here.
I'm about to report on that.
Are they here? Are they here?
I'm about to report on that when you wish me to do that.
I'm just asking you, is the bond counsel here, yes or no, Madam Mayor?
If you don't see them here, they're not here.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I don't have any other questions other than those 2 points. So does everybody can answer that question?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Councilwoman Waterman, and then Councilwoman Petula.
Well, from the meeting, I was under the assumption that bond counsel was going to be here at this meeting, and if they're not, then I'm leaving the meeting.
Bond counsel was part of the meeting. We did contact bond counsel, and they actually have, they were supposed to meet with us yesterday. We heard back from them, and I can read the letter they sent to us, but they actually have still felt that what they have been engaged to do 2 years ago was to come in for the bonds. They have done that. They consider that engagement completed, and they are not interested in taking on another engagement. So they decided, based upon that, they weren't gonna meet with us yesterday, and they're not here. By plan. But that was just a backup plan, as you remember, because we did have one plan on the table. For the deal that we are now locked into, because council
Okay,
has passed.
thank you,
We
Madam Mayor,
Madam
Mayor, thank you. Councilwoman Peasley.
As you stated, Mr. President, you would like to have the letter from Dearborn Capital and Mr. Wolk read into the record, so I will ask Attorney Gibb if he would please read that letter.
No, not into the Councilwoman Peasley, please forgive me if I didn't clarify. The points of the letter need to be incorporated into the actual agreement from my point of view. And so that's not binding. I don't want it read into the record. I want it to be part of the agreement that we vote on for Dearborn Capital.
That's fine, sir, but I would still ask Attorney Gibb to read it so the residents who are watching know what this letter is about.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead, Mr. Gibb.
Thank you, Council President. We received this morning from Brian Locke, excuse me, the following letter. Members of Council, we are hopeful for your acceptance and approval of the purchase and sale agreement at your November 21, 2020 meeting. It is important that our partnership move forward on Saturday as the time limits imposed by the Global Settlement Agreement are fast approaching. While we have worked to achieve several important preconditions in order to meet the deadlines imposed in your approved settlement, we do need a signed agreement to quickly move forward. Several concepts and questions have come to us over the course of your present consideration, and we want to assure Council of certain aspects of our proposal. We are committed to working with the city and planning a dynamic vision for the Phoenix Center, one that will benefit the entire community. As part of the language in the agreement that speaks to our public-private partnership, please know we are committed to the following: exploring the feasibility of incorporating the library or a community-themed resource center into the complex, enhancing the reach of educational and training resources to the community, collaborating in the development of other city-owned assets like the Purdue School, assuring that the long-term parking commitments are tied to timely and quality development of the center, adopting language that allows the city to compel progress if aspects of the redevelopment stall. Upon execution of the agreement between us, we are ready to immediately work with the city, its staff, and council to finalize all the additional documents for this exciting partnership. As final assurance, we want the city to know that our company has a commitment to social justice and community empowerment. Dearborn Capital, as an exclusive correspondent of T2 Capital Management, has access to T2's Dynamic Social Impact Fund, which focuses on providing workforce housing on a national basis. The fund, which was launched at the beginning of 2020, is currently completing 2 redevelopment workforce housing projects in Florida. We intend to deploy the same creativity and commitment in Pontiac. The T2 team is available to meet in person as the situation allows, or via Zoom at your convenience. Further, as this moves forward, our team will coordinate resources so that residents and businesses in Pontiac have an open opportunity to be involved in this project. We look forward to working with you to move quickly to the next important step of this partnership. Sincerely, Brian Locke, W-L-O-C-H, is how he spells his last name. And Council President, this communication could be included as part of any motion to approve the agreement by simply incorporating that the approval is conditioned upon the incorporation of that communication into the agreement, and that would be completely acceptable procedure.
Council President, we'll know where we are in the proceedings. Would you like me to read the letter that is sent to bond counsel?
No, not at all. Councilwoman Sharon?
I was just going to request that the mayor send us a copy of that letter from bond counsel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, I'm gonna ask that
we haven't finished our agenda for this meeting, Mr. William, Council President.
there's no bond council, so there is
There
no,
is, there were a
agenda.
number of things on the agenda. The bond, the meeting was set up to discuss this, to discuss the issue at hand, and to give you an update on where we are now that we're locked into this global settlement agreement. The clock is ticking, and it is irresponsible not to make sure that we are tied into a deal. The city is now tied into this. We have alerted the mediator. We have averted a default date, and it is important for us to act responsibly as a city.
Okay, thank you. What's the pleasure of the city council?
Continue with the meeting.
Okay, that's Councilwoman Peters' suggestion. Councilwoman Watt?
You know, Mr. President, I am miffed right about now, and I understand the dilemma that we're in. But at this point, I'm tired of the games. I want to move forward. Let's do what we need to do. And Mr. President, we will work to try to do what we need to do to make sure we can get something else done. But at this stage in the game, we have to move forward, sir. And I understand what you're saying. Please know that.
What I'm saying to you is there's some things in the letter that Brian Locke has agreed to that are not in the agreement. If we move forward on anything today, those things don't get incorporated.
Yes, you can. You just add that letter as an addendum to the agreement. That can be done by motion.
That's not binding. No.
That's why I had it read.
Attorney Sharp, can you speak to that?
What Attorney Gibb just proposed is to incorporate it and say that these terms would be binding. So as long as there's language reflecting that this is an addendum and these terms are going to be incorporated by reference, then that would be binding as part of the agreement.
Yeah, but there's no timeline or date like Section 4 that
well, what you're speaking to, well, hold on. What you're asking then is to expand on that. And so therefore you have to explain what you're looking for in terms of that additional language to be put in. So this is what it is, but if you're requesting some kind of, for it to be expounded upon in some additional language, then you need to suggest that so that they know exactly what it is you're thinking. You understand? Like on its face, it would be incorporated. But if you have something additional that you think should be put into it, then you need to suggest that. Is the point.
What I'm saying to you is we have a closed session on Tuesday's agenda that all of that needs to be worked out and dealt with so we can vote on it Tuesday with a responsible agreement. I understand the timeline more than anybody else. It was me who asked for the buyout of the students in the first place. But I also know that the devil is in the details. And if we rush to do something that's not complete, it's not going to be in the better good of the city. That's how we got in this lawsuit in the first place with Ottawa Towers and the easements, because our forefathers didn't look at what they were giving GM with the easements.
No, the closing date is set for January 4th. It's going to be hard for everybody to meet that now. Every day, every week we lose. Is difficult. All right. So I just want to keep that in mind every time I move this back. Causing the city more.
Y'all got us in the situation in the first place. Now I'm trying to get us out of it, and so I will not be bullied into signing a bad agreement when we can fix it for Tuesday. It just doesn't.
Mr. President, we can move this and then they could amend it on Tuesday to put everything else in there that's needed to be put in there.
Yeah, what I'm saying to you is I don't have a problem with that. We should vote on it Tuesday. It needs to be clarified, and we need to take the time to do that. Everybody needs to read the agreement so everybody can be on board with it. They just sent it out at 10 o'clock this morning, and that's no fault of Mr. Gibbs or anybody else. But until we read it, how can we adjust it?
Sir, I understand what you're saying. We've read it. It's been read into form. We've also had our attorney, Ms. Sharp, say that this can be done. If there's something specifically that you want to have put in there, then state it, and then we can have that amended on Tuesday. But at this point in the stage of the game, there's just too much going. It's just too much going on right now. Too much. Got all kinds of people calling, asking questions. Information is getting out into the public. It's that, we're supposed to have closed sessions going on where we're supposed to stay within us. Now it's out in the street. Get this thing done.
So just to clarify, Council President, I guess what I'm hearing from members of council, Councilwoman Waterman is saying, in terms of the overall agreement, I mean, that is what it is. The letter, yes, you're saying has been received this morning. And again, I think that Councilwoman Waterman is saying too, if in fact you want something adjusted in addition to the letter being incorporated by reference, then that can be done for Tuesday. Is that what you're saying, Councilwoman Waterman?
Yes, ma'am.
So if there are some other adjustments, suggestions, additions, modifications, deletions, or whatever, then that needs to be explained so that it can be incorporated for you to vote on Tuesday. If not, then the letter on its face can be accepted today. I think that is what you all are saying. I'm not suggesting one way or another, but I'm just trying to clarify. That's all. Thank you.
Yes, all it takes is a motion of whatever council wants to have happen. And then we can move forward, as Councilwoman Waterman said, we need to do that. I did copy Councilman Waterman on the response I sent to our mediator because he had been holding us for, we're now 20 days post-fault. So he was happy to get that notification. And so we've been on front page now with this. Good, faithful credit of the city on here again.
Okay. I'm done trying to put my point. If y'all have a motion to go for it, then we can do that. My thing is the left, the section in the letter that says, hold on, let me pull it up.
Council President, again, if you have something that you feel that needs to be expounded upon, again, the council sounds like they're in agreement with having you relay that to Attorney Gibbs so that it can be, again, incorporated and tweaked for you to vote on it on Tuesday. If not, then that won't happen. And so that's what, I mean, just being clear, I think that council is in agreement if there is something different, but if it's not anything different, then you just incorporate the letter. So you need to be clear in expressing what that is. So if you're okay with just a letter, fine. If there is something else that you want, again, details as it relates to the letter, you need to express that so that that can be redrafted for you all to vote on Tuesday.
And there are 4 things that need to be changed.
Okay, you should express that then.
What I'm saying is I don't have those 4 things that need to be changed right now in this meeting. That's what I'm saying to you, Attorney Sheriff.
Okay, so therefore, then maybe you need to suggest then to Attorney Gibbs that they will be forthcoming for that to be, and I guess you CC the council forthcoming so that that can be again incorporated, and then on Tuesday you guys would vote for it.
That would be my pleasure.
Okay, so that's what you need to suggest to council and see if council's in agreement. If you guys are in agreement, which I heard that if in fact those changes are going to be proposed, that they would be in agreement with that, but that's up to council. Thank you.
Council President, if I could just add one thing that might help. The purchase and sale agreement with Dearborn Capital requires there to be this very cooperative public-private partnership agreement, as well as a master ground lease that deals with the shared parking and the parking aspects of it. And if the council accepts and approves the purchase and sale agreement incorporating the November 20 letter from Brian Locke as a addendum to that agreement, then that all of that language and the details that you're discussing must come back in the form of the final public-private partnership document, as well as the lease that deals with the parking. And I know even I have concerns about the length of the parking that's being allocated, but this agreement allows the matter for the financing of and the funding of the Stevens Global Settlement Agreement to be certified. And so you, as council president of this council, will still have significant input in what the final public-private partnership agreement will look like and read, including those details. And whether they're in this agreement or not, the city still has to take that additional step. But by acting today, you would be supporting the global settlement agreement that was approved and signed and executed and now is in the hands of Mr. Stevens, and the mediator is aware of it. You would be saying, we are assuring ourselves that the funding behind that agreement is complete. And then the next step, as it says in the purchase agreement, says within 5 days, the city council, administration staff, and Dearborn Capital and its team will immediately work towards the details of that public-private partnership. So approving this today doesn't foreclose any other concepts or ideas that might go forward with the use, the timing, any of the restrictive aspects of it. It is completely embedded in the document that everyone, even Dearborn, is acknowledging that that must also get done. But the reason we're asking to approve the purchase and sale agreement now is because of the timeline of the funding necessary for the January 4th deadline. And so if you were to make a motion, the motion would be to approve the purchase and sale agreement as presented to council, and incorporating the letter of November 20 from Dearborn Capital as an addendum to the agreement, and authorizing the mayor to execute the same. That, if approved, that would immediately set forth the next step, which would be all of the details that I know you're concerned about, council's concerned about, the mayor's concerned about, I'm concerned about. So that's where we're at today.
Mr. Gibb, Madam Mayor, City Council people, as I've stated very clearly, I support the letter that you guys have. I'm ready to get this deal done. I just need it to be ironed out, so those points can be cleared out and not ambiguous for Tuesday, so we can vote on it and approve it. So, but if the pleasure of the council is to vote today, we can vote today. I'm just letting you know that I'll be a no vote. So I'm willing to work with you guys to get it done for Tuesday. If that's not amenable to the council, we can take a vote today and we can move forward. So what's the pleasure?
Be mindful with the number that you have today at today's council meeting. So just keeping that in mind. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes.
with Ms. Sharp approving the layout of what the idea, what the plan is, what the letter says, I'm going to make a motion that we move on this tonight and we get it over with. We have stressed too many.
Is there a second?
I support.
Been moved and supported. Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, I just wanted to ask Mr. Gibb a question about, is this covered in some of the clauses where it says the city and city council shall?
That's exactly correct, Councilwoman Shramsky. The city agreeing to this purchase and sale agreement has the enforcement powers within those clauses. As Attorney Contis explained at the last meeting, that the big difference between may and shall is shall means it's required, that all parties are required to cooperate to complete those agreements, and incorporating this letter further explains the vision that would be contained within that document.
Okay, that's what I thought, because that's why we amended it that way. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
So Mr. Wait, so I'm clear, what exactly is the motion? And the other thing is, I need a copy of this letter because I didn't receive a copy of the letter, so it can be entered into.
I'll forward the letter to you now.
But I want to know exactly what the motion is, so I'm recording correctly.
What is the motion, Councilman Peter?
The motion is that we accept the settlement as it is written. Hang on a second, I just wrote it down. Let me get it here for you. Motion is to approve the purchase and sale agreement incorporating the letter that we received November 20th from Mr. Wall, Brian Wall, and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement.
Okay. Is that clear, Mr. Doyle?
Yep. And that covers everything, Mr. Gibb and Mr. Chip? Or?
Yeah, that's sufficient.
Okay.
I would say about accepting the letter and, accepting the terms and conditions contained therein, whatever they may be. But just so that it's referenced that you're accepting the terms and conditions contained therein.
Well, I think that's in the sale agreement incorporating the letter.
I'm saying that the letter, it should say in your motion that you're accepting the letter in addition to the terms and conditions set therein in the letter.
Okay, whatever you want, but I thought approve the purchase.
Okay, let's don't
sale
argue
agreement.
about it. It's good. Let's go.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Petula,
Yes.
Stransky,
Yes.
Taylor Burks,
Yes.
Waterman,
Yes.
Williams.
No.
4 yeas, 1 nay, Mr. President.
Okay. All right, I'm going to adjourn this meeting at 10:26.
Miller,